Hello and welcome to 110 Yards. I'm Coach Aaron Page, a Canadian coaching American football in Denmark. Today I have with me Junior Konate. He's a CFL Global prospect playing out of Denmark. How are you today, Junior?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks.
Nice. So you enjoying the snow? Did you guys have snow down there in Copenhagen like we had here?
Yeah, yeah, we had a little bit, but it wasn't that bad.
Nice,
Luckily
nice.
for me.
It reminds me of Canada. Okay, so you had an opportunity to attend the CFL Global Combine. A lot of people don't really know what that's all about, but basically the CFL had gone over to various countries in Europe and in Japan to look for international players to occupy a roster spot for people outside of North America. Where did you attend the combine, and how did you get an invite, and what was it all like?
Oh, it was actually back. It was actually last year. I didn't really play the 2019 season. I had some. I wouldn't say personal issues, but I had some things I need to fix to clear up my head. So I didn't really play. So I didn't really expect an invite. But luckily for me, I got one. They had a camp at the Hafnia in Copenhagen with some Danish players, a little bit Germany, Finnish, and Swedish players. It was back in 2020 March. I actually got my invite a bit late. Might have something to do with I didn't really play that season. But luckily for me, the coaches knew me and knew what I could bring to the table. So I got an invite, and I just tried to do my best. I didn't prepare that much for the combine, unfortunately for me. So a lot, many of the drills I haven't really tried before. So I just tried to do my best, and luckily for me, I did good, and I just got an invite. So actually, I should have been in Canada 1 month later, but the Corona hit and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and so I just wrapped around my head and think, okay, this is a big opportunity, and I knew like worst case scenario, it would all be postponed to next year. So in my head, that was perfect. I just had 12 extra months to prepare. So I just went back to grind mode, hooked up with a couple of friends, and we just got back to work.
Yeah, I see you, post on social media. You're working with Calvin Stitt quite a bit, and
Yes, sir.
so at the combine, what type of evaluations were they doing, and what type of players were they after? Like a specific player position, or was it sort of a mix of everyone? O line, D line, running backs, receivers, any
It was a mix of
quarterbacks?
everything. Yeah, nah, we had some O line, D line people. We had some receivers, running backs, DBs. But I don't think we had any quarterbacks. We might have had one. I don't really remember. Um, but we had a lot of different guys. We had a quick introduction, 45, 1 hour, where they talked about the contract, the whole setup, and why they're doing this. And they said that they would at least bring one guy each place, right? But I actually they actually invited two guys, me and one Finnish dude. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and so what position were they expecting you to maybe take a crack at when you would get to Canada based on your performance at the combine?
I was playing running back. We had like specific drills for each position, and I was signed up as a running back. I was kind of undersized at that time. They wanted like running backs to be uh, around 97 kilos, and I was 90 kilo at that time. So I was quite undersized. I need like at least 7 kilos. So yeah, just try to do my best. And I
Put on that weight.
yeah, definitely. I was um, I was actually close to attend the wide receiver camp because of my size. But I was like, man, fuck it. I just gotta do my best. So
Yeah, I hear
great.
you. And for those that need the conversion, 97 kilos is around 213, 215. So that's not a light weight by any means, and that's a lot of size to put on, especially when it's, I can't speak for you, but like a guy like myself, it's hard for me to put on good weight, if that makes sense, and it takes a lot
Exactly.
of work. So I'll backtrack a little bit here. Coming up in Denmark, how'd you get your start with American football, and uh, what sort of drew you to the game, being in a country like Denmark where it's not maybe the most popular sport. It's more of a niche.
Mm. I actually started pretty late. I was technically 18 at the time, but I was a pretty skinny dude. So I wanted to put off some weight before I started playing football. So when I was around 18 years old, I started working out for a year, some kind of preparation to the sport. But I actually knew a guy back then. He played youth in Copenhagen Towers. I think he was 14, 15 at that time. He was a pretty good running back. So he talked about American football and stuff like that. It sounded pretty interesting. So he got me into the game and stuff like that. And he introduced me to the Copenhagen Towers. Said, hey, if you want to play at that club. I was like, okay, cool. So I put off some weight, and around 18, 19-ish, I think I had my first practice. That was pretty awesome.
So did you attend the game before you started playing? Did you see what it was all about? Because for me, I was probably 12 years old. My friend, a good friend of mine, Andrew DeLeon, was playing, and he said, man, we got our championship game. Come check it out. And I went and watched, and that night I couldn't sleep. I was in bed. I was like, Mom, I got to play this game. So I think it's pretty cool that you just did, you had that sort of experience, but at your first practice, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
So what was that like getting into the game and sort of, because here's my take on it. Whenever I get a new guy in Europe to come to a practice, it's always like, information fed through a huge fire hose. There's so many rules, there's so many things, and you think, oh, I just want to get the ball and run, but it's not that easy. There's plays and positions, and then they're talking about gaps, and they're talking about techniques. So how did you get over that hurdle when you first started with the sport?
I mean, I had the basics because I used to play Madden. So I knew everything about first down, second down, third down, and stuff like that. But all the stuff about gaps and positions and stuff like that, I didn't know nothing about it. So when I came to my first practice, I was kind of shocked. I didn't know that there was so many details about the game, so many steps, so many things you need to learn, different formation and stuff like that. So I just took one thing at a time. Trying to learn like how to open right and just the basic stuff about being a running back. I actually didn't know anything about gaps until 2 or 3 years later. I started playing because I need to take it slow. There were so many things I had to learn. So I was like, okay, one step at a time, right? So I just went that way.
Yeah, and so okay, now coming back to the combine, you're talking with the coaches. You finally get the invite. Was it to a specific team, or was it the invite to come to Canada and then kind of do it all over again? What's the next step for you when you eventually do go to Canada?
Yes, it was a straight invite to Toronto, another combine with all the players they have gathered all around the world. So we technically should do it again with all the drills, and we get an opportunity to talk with each team, and had the medic check. I don't know what we have to do around the medic check, but again, I guess it's the basics.
Medical assessment.
But the whole thing is around, I think it's 5 to 7 days. Well, like each day we do a different kind of combine, and I guess like the late days is interviews with the different teams, and then we got the big draft at the end of the day.
Nice. And I imagine a big part of your guys' role when they do sign a few of the internationals will be your position. Yeah, that's one, but I imagine mostly on the special team side of things, just to get integrated with the game. And as we talked about learning the rules of American football, I'm sure you've come to realize that Canadian football is played a little bit differently. And I've talked about that quite a bit on this podcast. And then, I hate to keep coming back to it, but it's interesting, and I want to hear your take on what you think of the rules and something like that.
I think it's pretty interesting. To me, as a running back, I don't feel like it's that different. I need obviously I need to pass protect a little bit more and be able to catch the ball out of backfield. Makes sense. But it was actually pretty easy to catch up to all the different rules in Canada for me personally. It's interesting that they had like 12 players on the field and only 3 downs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like it's that different, if it makes sense.
Yeah, I agree, and mostly because I grew up with that game and now work with the American rules. But
Yeah,
you're right. I think, and especially at the running back position, certain things make your life easier. Being able to motion towards the line, you know, if you have to pass protect you, and there, like just as an example, there's a guy, you know, threatening one of the gaps. You can sort of cheat up a bit early, you know,
yeah.
depending on the scheme and what have you. And so have any teams specifically reached out to you in advance of this and spoken with you? And you know, you can say who, and if not, if you're not allowed to, I understand, but we'd be interested in hearing that.
Of course. I will not name any team, but like some team reached out to me back in July, August last year, and we just had a quick interview through Zoom. They just want to know the basics, a little bit about me and stuff. So it was pretty nice. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay, and
But
that's fair.
back then we didn't really know when we were allowed to come to Canada because of the whole Corona thing. So yeah, it was just the basic stuff. Nothing really, nothing special really.
Yeah, and so you you played for the Towers. You mentioned that, but you also got to represent Denmark at the national level. And so,
Yes, sir.
what was that like, international play, and you know, getting to wear, you know, the Danish uniform and represent Denmark on a national scale? Like, how did that feel, and what was it like playing in those games?
That was special. Nothing about it. That was special. First time I had the opportunity to represent my country was back in 2018 to the European Championships in Finland. And that was just like a big opportunity. It was like the first time Denmark had competed at the highest level. So of course we want to perform good, but I mean, to have the opportunity to represent the country is just it's just a special feeling. You can't really describe it. To put up the national colors and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a special feeling, even though we didn't win a game back in 2018, but it was still special. Still special.
Yeah, and you come from a storied franchise too, with the Towers. You know, having been involved in the National League. Are you going to continue with them this spring, or are you sort of on hold? You know, based on going to Toronto, and maybe don't want to get hurt before that, or are you going to, you know, get some reps in this spring?
I will definitely attend practice because I don't feel you can like. I mean, football shape, that's something different. You can't really practice your football shape. You need to play football, you know? So I will definitely be practicing with the team, but I don't know if if I'm about to play any game. I believe it's kind of risky, especially with this opportunity. So I just focus on my training with Kelvin Step. And if we're allowed to start training again with all the Corona stuff, I will definitely attend it. But I will not play any games.
Yeah, and what's it like to have a guy like Calvin in your corner to help you, you know, get prepared for something like this? And you know, him having played in Germany, I had the opportunity to watch him play in Algo when he was with them, and then I was excited to find out that he was here, you know, and now he's with the Demons. But what's it like to have a guy like that, you know, helping you get ready?
It's a big opportunity. Back in August last year, actually Desmond Cooper reached out to me because he knew I was about to go to Canada, and he offered me to show me how to work out like an athlete, because I used to work out like an power lift, if it makes sense. I didn't really know all about those specific athlete drills and stuff like that. So that was a big opportunity for me. So I teamed up with Desmond Cooper and Kelvin Stead, and that work that done for me, that's just big. It's great to have a supporting cast like those people, especially people who have made it already, and know about the game, know what it takes, know all about those small fine details. So it's just a great opportunity to link up with guys like Kelvin Stead and Desmond Cooper. Definitely.
Yeah, Desmond Cooper. He former, I believe he was with the Jaguars for a little while, and yeah, so that's another awesome influence to have on you, and he knows the ins and outs of professional football. So let's say, barring a strange circumstance where you don't make the cut in Canada, have you thought about potentially becoming sort of one of the European imports and maybe playing elsewhere outside of Denmark after the fact? Or are you going to stick around home and just, carry on with the Towers? Because there's a lot of opportunities, and guys like you who have European passports who are, clearly being invited to the CFL have a valuable skill set. So I'm sure there's opportunities for you to play in Germany, Finland, in those upper echelon leagues.
Yeah, definitely. To be honest with you, I'm only focused on the CFL Combine, and I'll do whatever it takes to make it. So it's hard for me to say what I would do if I don't make it, because in my mind I will. I don't think like that, if it makes sense.
Yes.
So right now I'm like only focused on the Combine, and when it's done, I'll take it from there.
That's fair. And you know what? I'll admit that it was kind of unfair to me to ask you to think about if you don't make it.
No, it's all good. It's all
when
good.
you're on that mode, like, but as an athlete, I understand you're on that mode. You're not thinking about plan B. Plan A is plan B, so
Exactly.
I can respect that. And so yeah, I mean, that's I think it's great. I think it's great what the CFL is doing. Did you ever, think that you'd have an opportunity like this to go to the CFL? Because it seemed kind of just came out of left field, though, at the same time, with all of a sudden they were in Copenhagen running a combine. So, was it sort of like a dream come true to have this opportunity?
Well, when I started playing football back in the day, my goal is always to get to the highest level as possible, and so. But it's pretty tough when you play in Denmark, and it's pretty tough when you don't even know about the sport when you're 19. So I just try to do my best, get in the best shape possible, and I will kind of take like step for step, right? And with the CFL opportunity came, I was like, damn, right on time, So I was like, okay, cool, let's go get it. So it was kind of a perfect timing for me personally, because I finally believed I was at the right weight and I knew enough about the game, and I had like the experience to take it further. So for me, it was just like perfect timing. And with all this Corona stuff, it actually fitted me pretty good, because as I said, I was like 7 kilos behind at the combine. So
Yeah.
when I all of a sudden get like 12 extra months to just like gain weight and train as an athlete instead of a power lifter, that was just perfect for me. So like the last 2 years just be perfect timing. So I just need to execute.
Yeah, and does the speed of the game worry you in a sense that with the way they play in Denmark, like maybe a little bit of a wake up call going to Canada and if you go to one of the mini camps or what have you, do you feel like this time, like you've been mentioning, has given you the time to prepare to be ready to go sort of 110% against like the top athletes in the Canadian League?
Definitely. Let's just say, for the argument's sake, that Corona didn't happen and I was in Toronto last year instead of this year. Then my mindset would have been like totally different, because I wouldn't feel like I would be in my best shape, and I don't feel like I would be like big and explosive enough to compete in the league, if it makes sense. But right now I feel pretty good. I feel like I got the right weight, the right explosiveness, and I feel like mentally I'm ready for the league. I had time enough to like do my research and read up at the league and take a short look about my competition. and I feel ready. I feel pretty ready actually.
Have you
So
watched any
just
of the games, like CFL games, just to get a taste of what it looks like? And
yeah,
also
definitely.
with with that mentality, you know, about your whole football career, you know, it was kind of a blessing in disguise, like you said, the COVID, you get that extra time.
It
But
was.
do you look back and kind of think, man, I would kind of wish I would have started this sport a little bit sooner? Uh, or does that thought
Yeah,
ever come through?
yeah. I actually thought about it for a minute, and to be honest with you, I actually believe I'm right on time, because football is just a such a it's just such a physical sport that I don't believe that me as a 15-year-old kid would be able to understand the importance of your body and your head. And the thing that I've, let's just say, starting to play football this late is in some way is pretty good for me, because I feel like my body is ready for it. It's a fully grown body, if it makes sense. So
Mm-hmm.
I can take the contact. Um,
Got that man's
so
body now.
yeah, exactly. And you know, as a kid, you don't know the importance of your head and concussion, all that kind of stuff. So for me personally, I think it's pretty good. I started this late. I was lucky to get the opportunity to show off myself at the CFL Combine. Not everybody get that opportunity. So for me, I was lucky, but it fitted me pretty well.
Nice. You know what? I hope for the best for you when you get to Toronto. And just to finish things off here, I got two kind of small, fun questions. And take me through your game day prep from morning till kickoff, and what you go through. You know, what you certain meal. Do you listen to music? What's the game day prep in Denmark like for you?
Oh, it depends. If we usually play at like 2 p.m. So I would at least be up 6 hours before the game, to get ready mentally. And I wake up early, eat my breakfast, do my stretches. I do stretches every day. This is the first thing I do every morning. Just get loose, you know.
Yeah, same here.
Eh,
Yeah.
and then I just try to relax. I try to meditate a little bit. Don't think about too many stuff. And I got a special dedicated playlist to my game day, and I just try to get in the zone, stay ready, get do all those mental reps, go around the game plan, watch a little bit of film of the enemy team, and that's what I do. Usually, what I do.
Nice. I really like that you mentioned you like to meditate, because I actually meant to do something at the start of this with you that I forgot. But it's okay. I was really excited to talk to you, but I try to, when I come into a new scene, like just take a moment to arrive. I learned this from a friend of mine, Brian Burns. Um, and it's just 3 breaths, you know. First, you focus on the breath. Second, you relax the body, and third breath, you ask yourself what's important now. And I think, you know, something like that, or a little small meditation to get yourself focused, is important, and a lot more athletes need to take advantage of. Okay, and
Definitely.
finally, I want to know what your favorite play for you in football is. And this is not considering like this is where everything is lined up. The defense is in the exact alignment you guys want, you know, and everything's perfect. And this is your play that you're like, hell yeah, give me the rock. So what is it?
Oh. Gee, I love to run between the tackles.
Yeah.
If it's a power one, zone one, it doesn't matter to me. But like between the tackles, when you like get a one-on-one between the linebackers, I love it, man.
So
I love the talk. Yeah, I just love it, man.
you like, yeah, I can picture it, you know. The Colts running back did it this weekend. I think he hit the line, he was up there, he gave the guy a little shimmy. I love when you see
Yeah,
the running back kind of disappear, and all of a sudden he's at the hash mark sideline, touchdown. And that's,
yeah.
I could see you doing that, you know, right now. So awesome, man. I really appreciate you coming on and doing the podcast. we'll get you out there, and I think it's a fun thing to put Denmark and show what they're all about here, about American
Definitely,
football.
definitely,
Cool.
definitely. I really appreciate it, man. It's nice to talk to you.
Yeah, take care.